Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome once again to the 1904 Lounge ahead of tonight's Sky Bet Championship game between the Tigers and Wolves. Big night tonight for the Tigers. We've got to crack on. There's a job to do that can still be done. And after 90 minutes of football tonight, hopefully we'll be a little further up the table on what's going to be a very busy weekend as Brighton play tonight as well. I have a couple of people to introduce you to before we crack on this evening. Firstly, a regular, if you're a regular here in the 1904 Lounge, club ambassador and of course, legend twice of the Tigers and scorer of that goal, Dean Windass. And tonight, Dean's special guest that he's brought along with him is a man who started his career at Leeds United. Oh. Then a move to Oldham and then to Manchester United, playing 520 times for the club, United's second most decorated player, and a Republic of Ireland international as well. Ending his career at Wolverhampton Wanderers, of course, the reason he's here tonight. Please, would you welcome one of the greatest left-backs we've ever seen in the Premier League. Denis Irwin is here this evening. Denis, lovely to see you here. Thank you for being here. Firstly, let's get this out of the way. Do you get to see Wolves much? Because they're not really the team we associate you with, but hey, football's football. We can watch every game whenever we want.
Well, I was when I was growing up in Ireland, I was a Wolves fan. I think there was two in the county of Cork, and I was one of them. Another pal of mine was a fan as well. So I was delighted to play from the last 2 years of my career. And ever since then, I've always kept an eye on him. I know the press officer here, I speak to him quite a lot. They've had an indifferent season. Wolves have been mid-table for most of it. Sold probably the best player halfway through the season to Bournemouth and that. And it's been one of them seasons where nothing's got going for them. They haven't got a lot to play for tonight, which is a bit of a shame because they are a big club. But I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Now, domestically, you've won virtually every honour that's been going in what was a fantastic Manchester United team in the 90s and into the 2000s, which meant, of course, you played alongside the manager of the Tigers, Steve Bruce. Now, is there anything that maybe you can tell us that we don't yet know about our manager that maybe you'd be prepared to tell not just the people in this room, but the people watching on YouTube?
Oh, I've got to be careful what I say here. Now, Brucey was as brave as a lion. He scored 19 goals one year for us. First year I went to the club actually in 1990-91, and for a centre half, that's an unbelievable amount of goals. His partner was Gary Pallister, and Sir Alex Ferguson used to get Gary Pallister to make the dummy runs. So because Pally was like 3 or 4 inches taller than Brucey, but Brucey was a lot braver than Pally. Big Pete, Schmeichel used to call him Dolly and Daisy. Used to be ever shouting at him. Brucey used to get quite nervous before games actually. I don't know if anybody knew that. Number of visits to the toilet, but as skipper. But he was a great player for us. Can't believe he didn't play for England at the time. I know England has some great centre halves, but certainly delighted to play alongside him because he was tough as nails.
Absolutely, he's doing the job here once again for us. Dean, welcome back. It's been a while since we've been here. 4-0 against Bristol the last time we were here. It's not gone so well for us since. However, the manager's hand might be forced tonight to make some changes, of course. No Michael Dawson or Mo Diarmi. So this is an opportunity for people to show that they really want to play for us and to make an impact in the last bit of the season.
Yeah, well, excuse me and Dennis was talking to Steve before we came, and he wanted to freshen it up. People are tired. People have played a lot of games. We're talking about the Championship. It's a lot of games. There's a lot of games. You don't hardly train. Because there's that many games. So he's got an option tonight to freshen it up. I know he's going 4-4-2. So he needs. We were talking there. He needs to get the ball forward. As you say, Wolves not really playing for much, so the pressure will be on us tonight. And with the form that we have been in, apart from the Bristol City game where we played well and we scored 4 goals, we've always sort of struggled to get goals. And if we score the first goal, then I'm always confident of going on to win the game. But when we don't score first, the confidence drops. And that's down to the characters in the change rooms. But tonight he's freshening it up, which is going to be good, and it gives the opportunity for the lads who haven't been playing to prove that they can go on from now to the end of the season. If it is the playoffs, or if it's automatic. Somebody just asked me then, will we get automatic? You never know in this championship. You know, the one thing about it is that, you know, you go on a 2 or 3 game run now, and Middlesbrough, Brighton and Burnley sort of slip up, which I think they will do. We never say never. There's enough points on the board to get automatic at the minute. But if we're in the playoffs, then so be it.
So tonight's game, Wolves are missing a few key players. I mentioned the 2 of ours that are going to be missing, but it seems that when our players are out like that, we don't seem to miss them because we do have the strength in depth, and Steve Bruce can always adapt to what's been thrown to him.
Yeah, the squad that we've got, you know, and the players we've got in that change rooms, you know, it should be enough to get automatic promotion. But because the championship's very tough and anybody can beat anybody on one day, you know, the players who are coming in tonight, they've got to show a little bit of passion, a little bit of, you know, urgency. You know, it's live on Sky. Everybody knows it's live. And Dennis will tell you, when you're playing live on Sky, you want to prove to the world what a good player you are. So hopefully tonight, we've not really done well when we've played on Sky, have we? That's been our Achilles heel, really. But tonight, I'm hoping that we'll get back to winning ways. And then there's another few games to go yet.
I think the battery might be going in the microphone here in the lounge. So I'll talk a little bit louder because we're still on film. So I've still got to hold this one. Anyway, Dennis, how do you see the game going tonight?
Well, different to Hull. I think Kenny Jackett's done a great job at Wolves. You know, the season before last, they were down in the Sky Bet 1 championship. Finished 7th last year. A bit disappointing this year, but I think he's made them really hard to beat and on a decent run. But I just think Hull have got a lot to play for. You know, they're at home. The home record's been good, and I think there's 4 games of the 6 left at home. So, and Friday night's a great night to play at home. I don't know. It's, as a player, I used to love playing night time. So I would make Hull big favourites to win this. But Wolves could be dangerous because they've not got nothing to play for as such. But they'll go out there, be a bit of a free spirit. But I still think Hull will win. I'd be surprised if Wolves would win here. But the championship is so unpredictable that you just don't know.
So if I was to ask you for a score prediction, Dennis, what would you say?
I'd be delighted if Wolves got a draw. I know Dino's going to say that Hull are going to win by a couple or something like that. It's a big game for Hull. They have to get some momentum back in. You know, I wouldn't say they're guaranteed in the playoffs yet, but you want to be in the playoffs with a bit of momentum. You want a couple of wins under your belt, so you're going in there with a bit of confidence. They're at home. They have an awful lot to play for. Yeah, Hull are under a bit of pressure, but I always think when teams have got something to play for, they seem to dig results out. So with the home advantage, with being good at home, and I know they're in a sticky run at the moment, Wolves will do very well to get a draw out of it.
Lovely. Dean, what do you think?
I'll never get it right, so no. But I think we'll win the game. I think I always say to you when I'm stood here, if we score first, I'm very confident that we've got enough in the team, to go on and win the game. If Wolves score first, like Dennis said, not really much to play for. You know, they'll be a bit more relaxed. Yeah. They'll be delighted that they're playing on a Friday night as well. But I'll go for a 2-0 victory.
Nice. How about 2-0 as well? Lovely stuff. Yeah. So Dennis thinks maybe a draw. Dean thinks 2-0, but we are live on Sky and it never works out that way, but we'll see. Tonight we could book the trend. Dean, thank you very much. Dennis, lovely to meet you. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Dean Windass and Denis Irwin, our guests here this evening.